OMG. We have so much to catch up on. Whew, this tea is steaming. First of all, this is not the video you're supposed to be seeing right now. You are supposed to be seeing a vlog from my trip to New York City with my friends from high school. You are not seeing that because I got sick. It's actually like a week now after I would have been back from New York, and I'm still congested. I'm still feeling it, and it sucks. I got sick, and I listened to my body, and I said, walking around in cold weather probably isn't what I should do. And so I stayed home from my trip and missed going to New York for the first time since COVID, which sucked. But on an exciting front of things we need to catch up on, I cut my hair. I'm loving it. You probably will never see Jessica with long hair again. I feel so much more sassy and like myself, and I feel like my nose ring looks better with the short hair. Anyway, loving it. Don't care if you do or not. But I did cut my hair, and this is my new personality. And then third of all, on like just random life things we need to catch up on before we get into what I want to talk about, I got a new car. I got a 2023 Toyota Sequoia. And when I tell you that it is the most expensive car I've ever bought, but also like I want to sleep in it. Like it is my favorite car ever. I've always wanted like a big giant SUV, and I'm a Toyota girl through and through, so I knew it would always be a Sequoia. But I didn't like the design of the old Sequoias. I thought they were ugly. So the 2023 ones came out, but they have been very, very slow to come out because of like the chip shortage and stuff. So much so that I only got one key with my car. They're gonna mail me a second one. That being said, I have been on my like car dealer guy since April probably that I wanted this car. And as soon as it came out, and I wanted to be the first one in the county to have one. And I think I accomplished that. I haven't seen a single one on the road, even from like tourists, and they're very hard to get right now. So anyway, I got a new car, and I'm so freaking excited. But I'm not gonna be able to drink this. This is gonna have to, hold on. I poured that tea thinking like, oh, it'll be cute with me like sipping my tea in front of the Christmas tree, but it's so freaking hot I can't drink it. That's okay. I wanted to just give you like a general life update, but I also wanted to talk about the thing that is like changing content creation, changing like the way I think about being a YouTuber, and that is storytelling. I talked to y'all like a month ago about how I plan to do more like A story, B story type things in my videos. So you're gonna get more like vlog style stuff, but also still informational and everything in between. And like in this video, the life updates are the B story. They're kind of the thing I needed to show you and I wanted to show you outside of what I'm actually gonna teach you. And then the A story is gonna be about this, like the information that I'm gonna teach you. A story and B story is one thing to understand, but the thing you really need to understand, or the thing that I am really like grabbing onto and really figuring out and really trying to like work my muscle with, is storytelling in my content. I realized that all of my favorite people to watch on YouTube, on like anything, are really good at telling stories. And I have done a lot of like reading and research and like stuff on storytelling, but I never really thought about it in my content because my content was always just like sit down talking head content. But as I'm pivoting and moving away from just having like sit down talking head videos and putting more of me into my content, I realized that like story is really freaking powerful. And I think that that is what 99.9% of people who try and vlog on this platform or who try and create like lifestyle content are missing. They're just chronologically like putting together the day or the week or the thing that they're trying to show you. They're not positioning it in a story way. And the best example I have to give you, and I talked about this on the podcast and I cried, so I'm gonna try not to cry today. But I've shared this video with y'all in the past, and I'll share it again with you here now in just a second. It's just a couple minutes that I'll like insert into the video. My oldest son graduated graduated from 6th grade last year, right? Like he's in middle school now, and because middle school here is only 7th and 8th. But anyway, he graduated from 6th grade, which meant he graduated from his elementary school that he'd gone to since pre-K. So he had been in this school for like 8 years. And I could have just filmed his graduation, right? Like I could have just sat my camera up or my phone and just filmed his graduation, just like in like the 90s style of, you know, camcorder, like mom in the audience, like filming the graduation, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I'm like, we're never going to watch that again. You know, I mean, how often do you do that? Like, yes, when my kids get older, we'll probably want to watch it back, but like, you know, it's not like a piece that I'm going to want to watch back. Plus, it's not very fun to share with other people, right? Like if I want to share this with our relatives that don't live here or whatever, it's not very fun to share just a blank, like, this is what happened, see it exactly as I saw it kind of video. And so instead what I did was I put together a story. I put together a video that had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I put together a video that took people along with them and emotionally kept them involved in the story. And I cry every single time I watch it. People who don't even know my kid are like, oh my gosh, I have cried every time I've watched this. Other people who had kids graduating cried every time they watched it. And the whole thing is just so much better, like so much more enjoyable to watch. And I want to talk more about the elements of story, but first I want you to see this video. So remember, this is my son's 6th grade graduation, and this is the story I chose to tell with the graduation rather than just showing you a video of him graduating. And it's just a few minutes, and let's just watch it.
That's even worse. Alright.
Good night.
I said get out of here.
You're not gonna kick me.
I will kick you.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
Get up.
The change of the future starts in the classroom. When I look around my classroom, I see people who can change the world. These people, my friends, my classmates. It could be their artistic abilities, intellect, or talents. Whatever it may be, everyone is special in their unique way. But it's those who dream of change that makes a change. The change that they bring may be small or great and unforgettable. These people in this classroom. I see doctors who could cure cancer.
His courage and determination are an inspiration to us all. Please join me in giving Aaron a round of applause.
I see astronomers who could discover a new star or planet.
You may be wondering what this means. To find your voice, inspire others means for you to find your place in your community or job by finding something you have a passion for and sharing that with other people who can help you achieve that goal. As 6th grade students, we've all pursued our goals that we set at the beginning of the year.
I want to officially welcome you. The kids laughed at me this morning because I was talking to them and I started tearing up. Those students are Kason Stansberry.
Kason Hart Stansberry.
I see engineers who could design and build buildings of the future. I see a nation full of blossoming minds, full of light in the darkness of our world. We all have the power, the ideas, the dreams. Are you ready to change the world?
I know, I cry every time I watch it too. It's like a whole thing. But isn't that so much better than just like a standard graduation video or like event video? Yes, it is. Like I showed him getting ready, right? And I showed him walking in to the graduation ceremony. I showed people making speeches, and then I had that girl's poem, or story, I guess, flying in the background the whole time and like, going in the background. And I chose music that conveyed the message that I wanted to convey. And it was just better. And that's what I want to get at with my content here on the platform. Like if I'm going to show you a day in the life, there needs to be a story to it. Not just like, I woke up and I did this. I, did this. I did this. I did this. And honestly, I'm struggling a little bit because sometimes I feel like there's not a good story in with like that type of content. So it's can be a little bit of a struggle, but like with all of our content is there has to be a point to it. There has to be a beginning, middle, and end in its most basic form. But really the structure of a story is like to open with intrigue, hook them, get them in. Then to introduce the goal and the premise and like the idea behind why they're even watching this thing. And by the way, all of these steps can be done visually or audibly. Right? So introduce the goal or the premise of the story, and then possibly introduce a problem, right? They're like most stories have a problem that interferes somewhere, that gets people to feel like they can't get the result they're trying to get because this problem or roadblock or thing is in the way. Not all stories. For instance, my son's 6th grade graduation, there was not a problem. It was just, a hunky-dory day, and it didn't need a problem because it had so much emotion. But a lot of times there's going to be like a problem that comes up and you're going to have to address it. All right, we're going to try the T again, but next you need a climax. You need like the thing that we were working for happened. It happened. It's a thing. Like, woohoo, right? And then you need a resolution. And sometimes that resolution is that there was like a change in you or in the day or in the event or in the whatever that happened. And sometimes the climax and resolution kind of happen at the same time. And honestly, my best example of storytelling is Hallmark Christmas movies. Y'all, they're cheesy AF, but they nail the storytelling. They nail it in its most basic form because there is always the introduction, the intrigue, the big city lawyer girl, like she hates her fiance and she's stuck up and she's mean. But she's, is what she is. And here we are. And then we introduce like the premise of the story. We know that she's got to go back home and run her family's Christmas tree farm. And she doesn't want to do that. And then she gets there and she meets the baker man who's a single dad, and they start to really like each other. And then there's a problem, right? And the problem is that he overheard her saying that she never wanted to be here, and it hurt his feelings. And now he's mad, and she has to go to him and prove to him that she does want to be there. And that is the climax. And like, she is there and she's excited and she has changed her ways. And that is also the resolution. She's a new person. They get together, all the things. Pretty yawny. I was home with my kid, mommy, honey. So like, that's the structure of story. That's the thing that I want to get better at. And I want to like share with you so that if you're out here making videos, you can get better at. It's a muscle we have to work. Like, it is not something that comes super naturally. And I heard someone one time say, like with vlogging and that type of content, to show more than you tell. And that can be really hard because we want to open a camera and like hold a camera and be like, I am going to the grocery store today, or I am doing this thing. But we could also show that we were going to the grocery store. We could have that in line with another piece of the story because that is more interesting than us just talking at the camera the whole time. And I do understand the irony in me like sitting here doing a talking head video, telling you about how I don't want to do talking head videos and telling you about how I'm going to incorporate more story, but just hang with me, okay? If you are a tea drinker, but you're like me and you can't do caffeine, hibiscus tea, so good. And I think it's good for you too. So double-edged sword, or like double-edged spoon. Because like a double-edged sword is a bad thing, but a double-edged spoon is like awesome. Anyway, that's what's been going on with me. That is what I am personally working my muscles on. Oh, really quick. There are 2 books that I would highly recommend for learning story or, like trying to like learn about like how people like mentally go through things and like watch things. One of those is very marketing focused, but it's still really good with story, and that is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. The other is the most amazing audiobook I think I've ever listened to. The author is freaking hysterical, and no wonder that he is so good at storytelling, because he's like, I mean, he's just hysterical, and the audiobook is well worth your time versus the standard book. And it is called Storyworthy, and the author's name is Matthew Dix. I'll link them both below in the description, but they're books that I have like really loved reading to like learn about storytelling. But go out and watch big creators. Go out and watch people who are vlogging on an everyday basis, like Casey Neistat, or who are putting together videos that tell a story of their travels, like Maddie Hapoya and Peter McKinnon. They are telling story in the best way, and it's so easy to see once you see it, you know? And I'm actually gonna drive to town for a super fun like thing I wanna look for a project, for a video I wanna do, for part of a story that I wanna tell. And it is finally sunny. You see how sunny it is back here? It's finally sunny outside. It has been rainy and gross for a week. And I got my car, when I'm filming this, I got my car 3 days ago. And it has been rainy and gross, and I have not had 2 seconds to put on the reindeer ears. Nope, what are these called? Antlers and Rudolph nose on my car. And that is what I'm planning to do right now. And it makes me so happy to have like my dream car, to have a car that nobody else in my county has yet. I know somebody will, but like give me a minute, you know? And then to finally do the like dorky nose and antlers that have jingle bells. I'm so excited.